All right. So when people ask me, Ben, like, what's the deal with success? Like, how is it possible that we're supposed to be successful in the long term? Like, we all know we need to do the things that we need to be doing, and we know that there's systems and formulas that we need to put in place. But the question is, like, what are like the tips that we need to be doing? So I really want to break it down into 5 different tips today in terms of what it is we can be doing. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to do so. We're having great content coming out all the time over there, and it's really, really exciting. If you haven't signed up for the free confidence course, just free, so just take it. It's like a no-brainer. But really, in terms of building systems and success, people want to be successful, right? And you could define success in your terms. For some people, success could be like making $50,000 a year, and some people can be making $50 million a year, right? Really. So recognizing that, first of all, that defining your terms of success is going to be huge. Like, that's going to be the number one thing, because most people are chasing something that other people want, and therefore, because you're chasing other people's success, like, that's just a terrible idea, because like, you're gonna, even if you get there, you're gonna be like, well, this is not really what I want, this is what other people want. And I think that's what the good marketers do, is they tell you what you need, and then like you like get it, and you're like, oh shoot, like I don't actually need this thing. So recognizing that is going to be huge, and realizing that we have to get really clear on our vision. We have to really get clear what it is we want and where we want to be going. And if we can start thinking about that, then we can actually start the direction and try to figure out, okay, what are the things that I'm going to need in order to be getting to the place that I need to be getting to. So if recognize, where are you going? If you don't know where you're going, think about it. If you think you know where you're going, question yourself, is this really what I'm going to be doing? Like, how do I know? And not to put it like a damper on it, because so many people I feel would get stressed out if that was the case. But recognize that if you don't ask those questions, then there's going to be a time in your life that you're going to ask those questions, and then by then you're going to be wasting, hopefully not years, but many times that's the case. I had this guy who came over to me in his upper 50s, and he came over to me, he was like very successful in terms of what he's doing. And I'm like, so like, well, what do you want to be doing? He's like, I have no idea. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I just happened to get into it, and I was successful, and just like never stopped. And I'm like, that is the scariest thing, because this guy's been doing this thing, and maybe he actually does want to do that, but allow himself to see that he wants to be doing that. And if he doesn't, then that's like a real big issue, because he's going to have one of these like breakdowns, because he's like, shoot, I just wasted like 30 years of my life. And I think that's where like the fear that most people have happen. So recognizing that is going to be key. So number one is getting the clarity. Okay. Number two is we got to get the systems in place. Okay. Systems are going to be key, because if we don't have the systems in place, then like we're just all over the place. We know those people who are like a hot mess, and they're just like doing so many things, they're throwing so many things. And if they would have just really just sit down and strategize in terms of what are things that they want to be doing, that they'll be so much more organized, and they'll be so much more thought out in terms of the things that they want to be doing. And that's like the cool part. It's like you can actually have systems in place to be like, hey, you know what? This is what I need to do on this time. This is what I need to do here. And and then like you end up getting the stuff done. Somebody recently came over to me and asked me, Ben, like, you're doing so much, like, how are you doing it? And I'm like, first of all, I want to be doing more. Second of all, like, I'm not even where I want to be. And like, I know it's just going to get bigger, but at the same time, like, I just have the systems in place. So like, when I'm doing my emails, right, like like I'm doing those all in one day for like the month. Like, that is huge. That is like just batching my time in a way that I don't have to spend my time every day or every week. I used to do it once a week for the week. It just took me too much time. Then I realized, let me try to do it for the month, and I pounded it out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so much more effective. I don't have to think about it. It's like so many things are just in place. So recognizing that if you could do the systems and have the systems for all the things that you want, and everything could have a system, that I recognize that like you're going to be able to see the things that you want to be doing, and you'll be able to just be more calm, because you're not guessing, you're not juggling all these different things, and recognizing that you could do all those things. If you didn't see the video on juggling, making sure you're having that balance in terms of life, definitely check that out. But in terms of the systems that you put in place, it's going to be key. Speak to people who are doing it, because people who are usually more successful have more systems in place. And if they're not, they're going to probably break soon. So they're going to need to put the systems in place. So figure out, ask them just what they're doing. And sometimes, honestly, people will just handle more. So if you're not that person, great. If you are that person, great. But also recognize that, you know what, there's probably something that you can be doing as well. So number one is this. Number two is really the system. Number one is the vision. Number two is the system. Number three, in terms of the systems, right, you can actually hire people. That is something that you can actually do and implement very quickly, right? So most people say like, well, I don't have the money to do it. And it's reason you might not have the money to do it, but guess what? There are a lot of people out there who, number one, want to help support you. It might want to help you for free, even if it's not the ideal situation. And number two, sometimes if you're looking to grow, like you sometimes need to spend the money first in order to grow. And most people don't recognize that it's not necessarily an expense that like you're just throwing away. It's an expense that you're putting into your business to grow your business. And so many people are so impatient nowadays. And that's where I think it really comes from, that they want to already be somewhere, but they know, oh, I need this thing. I was talking to that guy, and he said, I want to run this course. But if I run this course, like I really need an extra support, because I want to be able to focus on the big picture as well. don't know what I need to be doing. So there's so many ways you can reach out to people and just put it out there, see who's interested. Maybe somebody who's just beginning and they need to experience more, right? Or maybe it's you try to find somebody who you could pay really cheaply just to help you out in the beginning, just so you can get this thing going. And then once you start making money, you can put it back in order to start paying somebody who might be interested. So recognizing that is going to be extremely important as well. So if we can see that, if we can actually hire the people, then look, we can actually do those things. So if we can all make sure that we're having the clear vision, if we want to put the systems in place, if we want to hire the right people, then look, it's going to be something that we can actually put in place and we can actually do. All right. Number 3, right? We're up to number 3. Number 4, right? Number 1 is vision, systems, hiring people. Number 4 is going to be creative marketing. And what I mean by that is that all marketing is going to be people who are looking to get in front of other people. And it's all like not a game, there is, I believe, like a theme and a system in it, but recognizing, you know what, there is also creativity that gets into it. And it's like, how can you get in front of the most people? Like, what can you do? What are other people doing that's working? Or what have you, like, that's one of the things I like doing. It's like, what was I interested in? Why was I interested in it? And how can I do more of that thing? And if I could start doing more of that thing, and if I could start looking, here's the marketing piece that I need to be really working on, and I just need to get in front of people, then like I could actually get there. And if we could just get creative, and we can actually start to look, what are the pieces that I need to be doing? That is going to be the biggest game changer. So recognizing that is going to be huge. Recognizing that is going to be just game changer with anything, because in any business that you're looking to build, if you want to become successful, like you need to get in front of more people. So whether it's word of mouth, whether it's you're going to be running this event, whatever it is, we have to get creative with the marketing and recognize that that's one. I know for me, that's like one of the things that like I need to have my head in, because I realize like I know my baby the best, and I need to figure out and like just speak to people. What is it I can do? And the more I speak to people, the more it is that I can really recognize, hey, this is like what I can be doing. And that's like where the cool part comes out. And looking that, you know what, here are the things that I need to be doing. Here are the things that I could get creative in terms of what it is that I need to be putting forward towards everything else. And then the last part that I want to share with you is the consistency piece. And I think that is the biggest, no matter what, out of everything. Even if you're just doing small different things, even if you're reaching out to only 2 people a day, if you stay consistent, like that's a lot of people over the course of, let's say, 2 or 3 years, right? You know what I'm saying? So recognizing that if you could just be consistent, even if you're not putting as much input, you're going to get successful. And I think that's like the difference between the people who make it and don't make it, is that the consistency, of course, they can boost up the time. So imagine if you're calling 50 people a day, right? And then imagine you do that for 2 or 3 years. Imagine the success that you're going to have over there. So recognizing that it's going to be the consistency. The consistency is key. I talk about this in my masterclass that's coming out, and it's one of the biggest things that we need to be really implementing and putting into our system. Because if we're not going to be consistent, then how are we supposed to become successful? Most people just want it to happen. It's not going to happen if you don't stay consistent. You look at the most like popular people who build their brands, is because they're constantly working on it and they're constantly building something, and people trust them. And there's like this whole bigger ecosystem that people just don't know about. So if you can recognize that, you know what, I need to be consistent and I need to have these things in place, it's going to be a huge, huge game changer. And most people want to become successful. They like the idea of becoming successful, but guess what? They don't want to actually put in the work to become successful. And that's where really the difference is. And people think it's easy because they see other people doing it. But yeah, those people are like working hard, even if they enjoy their work. So it doesn't really look like they're working, but recognizing, hey, you know what? Like they are doing the things that they need to be doing. Like we can actually become successful also as well. So recognizing that's going to be huge. And I'm going to throw in an extra bonus over here, and it's recognizing, it's the mindset. I think mindset is going to be huge. It's going to be a game changer in terms of whatever it is that you're looking to do. But if you can look to work on your mindset, if you have that growth mindset, to make sure, remind yourself that you're in the infinite game, not the finite game. Recognize that the things that you're looking to do, the goals that you're looking to achieve are achievable. It is possible. You can do all these different things. It's going to be a game changer. I'm telling you, we have to recognize that mindset is going to be key. So many times people are just so held back because they can't get out of their own heads. If you could get out of your own head, you're going to see the success that you're looking for. If you could see the success you're looking for, you're going to be able to do more and more and more and more and more and achieve so much more. So recognizing that is going to be key. If you're not working on your mindset, highly recommend doing so. There are definitely some great YouTube videos and great podcasts out there that you can listen to that people talk about mindset so much, but it is going to be key. You look at any successful athlete, any really successful person, they're working on their mindset to make sure they're staying focused, to really make sure that they're doing the things that they need to be doing. And in that way, they're actually going to help them achieve success. It's not going to be like this tug of war that they keep getting pulled back and then it's forward and back and forward. And like, yes, there is this ping pong aspect to business, to life. And like, we're going to have to constantly work on resilience and stuff like that. But recognize if we can actually work on our mindset, like that's going to be the biggest game changer. So realizing that is going to be huge. Recognize that, you know what, we need to be doing these things in order to become successful. So let's quickly recap what we spoke about. Number one is going to be talking about the vision. If you don't have the clear vision, then you're not going to be able to get the success you're looking for. But guess what? You don't know what success actually looks like. And that's where most people mess up. They don't have the clear vision. They don't know where they're going. If they don't know where they're going, how are they supposed to get there? And they think that they know what they're going, but that's only because like their neighbor's doing the same thing and therefore they want to do it. And I think get clear, ask yourselves the hard questions, because if you don't ask yourself the hard questions, you're going to ask them at some point in your life. If you don't ask yourself earlier on, you're just going to just be living in this like denial type of life. Nobody wants to be doing that. So make sure you ask yourself the questions, get clear on your vision. Number two is going to be the systems that you put in place. Make sure that you're just more efficient. You only have 24 hours in your day. So does everybody else. There are certain people who are making millions of dollars every single day. Why can't you? Get the systems in place. Recognize that's going to be a big piece of the big piece of the pie. Number three is going to be hiring people. Recognize, you know what, if I can't do everything, if I'm not good at something, let me look to hire somebody who, not how. Really recognize that, you know what, I could be doing the things and putting in place the pieces that can actually get me that success. Number four is going to be the creative marketing, which is just looking to see how you get in front of people, what creative and cute little things that you can do to get in front of people. If you do that, then you can actually start seeing, hey, I'm getting in front of people, I'm getting on these calls, I'm making these sales, I'm doing all these things. It's going to be incredible. Number five is going to be the consistency of doing it every single day or every single week, whatever your system is to have in place. And when you have a system, you know what consistency actually looks like. You can go back on the data and you can actually see what it is that you want to be doing. And then number five, the biggest, or the bonus, is going to be the mindset. If you're not working on your mindset, work on your mindset. It's going to be huge. It's going to be something that's going to be able to help you get to the places that you want to get to. And it's going to be one of those things that are going to be tremendous game changer for you, because so many times people are just being held back by themselves, and there's no reason why we should be the one holding ourselves back. Other people, fine, you know, they, for whatever reason, okay, we have to deal with them. But if we're holding ourselves back, that's like really totally on us. And if we don't recognize that, then something's got to change. All right, hope you like that. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll see you all on the next one.